So if you're like me, you're already trying to plan your trips for 2019 because
Sure.
it's almost here. So if you've been to New York or London or Rome, what's next? How about some hidden gems you may have missed during those big trips? So Roseanne is here with a few ideas, and I love that because this is really taking us off the beaten path.
Right, absolutely. And one of the biggest off the beaten path, I am just back from the country of Estonia. And again, it's kind of the gem of the Baltics. I was at a conference over there called Baltic Connecting, spent a lot of time in Lithuania and then in Estonia. I was just like, oh my gosh, Estonia is beautiful. Now my boss is from Estonia, so I've always heard how beautiful it is. But Tallinn, it's like, that's the old town Tallinn.
Beautiful. There
that's
you are.
me bog
I like
shoeing.
everything about that except your sweatshirt.
You know, my daughter graduated from U of A, got to rep the colors there. But Tallinn was beautiful, and it was like a storybook come to life. It's like you're walking around these cozy little streets. There's the bog shoes. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Oh, thank you. But it's just one of those things where it's not an unexpected place. If you go to that part of Europe, typically you're like going to Helsinki or you're going to go to Stockholm. You know, next time, go to Tallinn. It's beautiful and you won't be sorry. And the reason this even came up is because hidden gems. I was on a tour in Italy a couple of years ago, and genuinely the tour was called Italy's Greatest Cities, Rome, Florence, Venice. But my favorite city, or one of my favorite cities, equally as much as the others, was Verona. And it's because, you know, it's just off the beaten path, it's smaller, it's very, very charming.
And you have a couple of other places, Quebec City, which
yes.
I love Canada, and I haven't been to that side of Canada. And everybody keeps telling me that Quebec City is just this magical place.
It is. It's truly a jewel of especially of that part of Canada. I mean, if you've been to Montreal, you know that's a lovely French-oriented city. Same thing with Quebec City, but it's a little bit smaller, a little bit easier to negotiate. But the architecture is stunning, and there's just a ton to do in that area. And again, don't forget Quebec City in trying to get to Montreal.
And then Italy. Italy is an amazing place. We think of Rome and
Florence, Venice, definitely.
Siena.
Yeah, Siena's lovely, and that's one of those places where sometimes people will go out of their way to see it, but sometimes they won't. It's definitely worth looking at. It's again, gorgeous architecture. A lot of history. That's the thing with the big cities. Everyone's like, oh, they're so historical and they're so beautiful. No question. But so are the smaller towns too, like Perugia, Siena, Verona. There's a lot of them.
And I really feel like when you go to those small places, you can feel like you're there. You've got, you've got a pulse of the city and the locals.
Oh, definitely.
You can kind of feel like you're just in the trenches with it.
Oh, very definitely. And they really do have a whole different vibe. You really do feel like you're getting more of the real, genuine experience. And the last one I would recommend is Chantilly. I had a friend who went to a wedding there and sent some photographs online. I was just like, holy cow, where is this place? And it's just outside Paris. It's like less than an hour away from Paris, but it's got these beautiful chateaus and this huge equestrian center. And it's just like, this is unlike any city I've ever seen, but small, graceful, beautiful, lovely. And then if you want to go into Paris and go do the Louvre and all that stuff, cool, hop on a train. You're just that close.
Well, Roseanne, we appreciate it. Now I'm going to go do some Googling, see if I can find some cheap flights to Europe. You're giving me some inspiration this morning.
There you go.